Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is a 2024 American science fiction action film directed by Wes Ball, written by Josh Friedman. A standalone sequel to The War for the Planet of the Apes, 2017. Also, the Caesar trilogy in general.
Absolutely.
I loved this movie, big style.
I've loved all 4 of these movies.
I want to see as many Apes movies as they can make.
Yeah.
You know, just do
Ape
as
with
much.
machine gun. You can't beat it.
Ape with a horse. Even
Yeah.
that's like amazing, just to see an ape on a horse.
Absolutely.
This new one, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, has the best, well, maybe not the best villain, but one of the more interesting villains. I wish we got to see more of him. He had such a good presence.
I don't know. Noah was in the movie for a pretty long time.
Huh?
You think Noah is the villain of the movie?
I think everyone, besides Rocka, my boy Rocka, the other 3 were kind of villains. We all know that the movie wants you to believe it's Proximus. I, however, think it's not that simple. While yes, Proximus was a bad guy in the sense of enslaving others and making them do your bidding, that's pretty bad.
I would say that's a bad guy quality. Yes,
Exactly. In the grand scheme of things, though, he just wanted what was best for the apes as a whole, as a species. He wanted to use what was in the vault to gain knowledge and skills the apes had never even had. This kind of technological advancement would have propelled the apes out of their own dark ages into a new era. While his methods were not ideal, I can see that. You can't say as an ape that what he was doing didn't have noble intentions.
But we get Noah, who is literally an ape, who does, fight back against Proximus because his whole family was taken away while he was out looking for people.
Everyone kind of sucks here. Noah is the main protagonist of the story. I understand that. He's essentially the hero, right? He's going to rescue his tribe from Proximus and get them back to their land. That's the noble intention. That's the heroic arc that he's on. But as a whole, it's very selfish of him because while he does that, in the process of saving his people, the rest of Proximus people get killed / hurt / they can't get what's in the vault. So because of that, he's doomed his race to not be as advanced as they could be to weather the storm coming from the humans, because we see in this that the humans are making a comeback. They have technology. They can easily take back the world if the apes don't radicalize their way of thinking.
But you do have to wonder, I guess, at this point, are you watching the movie as an ape or as a human?
The movie wants you to watch it and put yourself in the shoes of the apes because they're the good guys. But you yourself are a human, so there's elements of the human struggle that you can't help but sympathize with. While watching this movie, I was also thinking, man, it would be great if the humans weren't just herd animals now. You know what I mean? I'd love for them to make a comeback. So when they introduce May and her side of the story, I'm kind of still rooting for them because as much as I love Noah and his people, I am a human watching this movie. You can't turn those feelings off.
May felt like more of a villain than she maybe was supposed to, but it is interesting that they all have this kind of connection. Mm-hmm. Like, Proximus isn't like evil shoot first, ask questions later. He's evil in the sense that he wants to dominate and enslave and become the ruler.
Yes.
Whereas like May, at this point, she's just working for her people. But doing so does feel kind of like the villain of the story because we are identifying with the apes more than this one lone survivor.
Exactly.
But in real life, we're people.
Yeah, in real life, she's the hero because she's trying to bring back humanity. She wants to go into the vault so that she can get the satellite uplink, and she's going to take it back to the people so that they can re-establish communication across the world for any outlying human settlements that are still alive, that are still not affected by the simian flu virus. And so, yes, she's portrayed in a negative light because she's selfish. She kills the one guy.
She does flood the bunker, too.
Absolutely. She's
apes,
responsible for a lot of ape deaths. Not all of them were evil either. They were innocent, enslaved workers for Proximus. Mm-hmm. So, yes, while she's negative in those lights, if you're watching as a human, you can't help but say, well, she's got a point. She's bringing back humanity, you know? As a human, I kind of connect with that, even though I'm supposed to be vibing with the monkeys, you know?
The apes, sir.
The apes, I apologize. I think an issue, too, that you come up with is the first trilogy of apes. They're the victims. It's so easy to sympathize with them and hate the humans because the apes are the victims. They're just wanting their own piece of the pie. They want their own land to live on and stuff. The apes are now the apex predator, right? They've taken over from the humans. So now a lot of light is shining on them. They're no longer a victim in the sense. They're more complex. They are the new humans. So now the underdogs is the humans. And what person doesn't want to vibe with the underdog of a story? They want to connect with the underdog. They want to see the underdog succeed. And I know Noah is supposed to be the underdog, but when you see humans going to a river to drink and they're being captured by apes, you can't help but be sympathetic. You know what I mean?
That's us.
That's us. Yeah. We're the victim now. So now you want them to be the successful people.
But even like in like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, like you totally understand. Like you get your two sides, and you got your gray characters. Like Caesar and the main person are like, they're more gray. They kind of see each other, and they say that they need each other for survival, essentially.
Yes.
And you get Gary Oldman's character, and then Koba on the other side. It's like the more extreme sides, and you see where both of them are coming from too.
Yes, absolutely.
So the Planet of the Apes is really good about just having these kind of morally gray characters, and you can just kind of like attach your own philosophy to each character. And while they'll kind of lead you down a path to like, pretty much have like a protagonist or an antagonist, such as Noah or Proximus in this one, you do kind of have a gray issue. And this is so funny that you picked up on this because like that's on purpose. I think these movies are so good at just having, nice gray area to kind of play in. You don't have to have evil black and white things all the time.
Which, before the comments destroy me, I understand Proximus is the bad guy and Noah is the good guy.
Well, he's the antagonist. Yes. But when you bring good and bad into it, it does have
that's when it gets more morally gray, like you were saying.
Yeah.
And I love this about the Planet of the Apes, that they're so deep. And someone said, I remember watching online, they said, it's crazy that when you take away all audio, like all dialogue, you have to make a phenomenal movie because the storytelling has to tell itself without the voice lines and stuff.
Yep.
And it becomes such a deep movie. You think, oh, it's just an ape on a horse with a gun. And they have all of these subtle meanings of morality within them for these 4 movies. It's phenomenal, the amount of thinking you can do with these movies.
It's so refreshing in today's times because Planet of the Apes is a good franchise that's endured for a long time on its own, like the early versions.
We can't forget the Mark Wahlberg one.
Play dead.
Like Paul Giamatti, Michael Clark Duncan, star-studded cast with a phenomenal acting range.
That's so funny you said that.
Anyway. I love that one.
We should maybe review that at some point. Go back to it. I kind of do want to rewatch it. Anyway, but no, you get this huge, thing, and like nowadays we get these kind of lackluster sequels or like these kind of legacy sequels that are really just made to make money. These movies feel like they were made with a purpose. Like you get to feel the filmmakers like, genuine story ideas and stuff. They have this whole plan for it and everything. It's really. I love these movies.
And I was so upset when I first heard that they were making a 4th one. I love the movies, but the way they ended the 3rd one was so good. It was so good that when I heard they were making a 4th one, I was like, please don't ruin this trilogy for me. This trilogy is so good. There's such strong movies. And then this one didn't ruin it. It just added to it. It added so much depth. It added so much characteristics. The fact that it's set generation upon generation past Caesar to where he's just like a Messiah Jesus figure to apes, To the fact that you can misinterpret. Everyone has their own interpretation of how Caesar was.
I think that's so interesting that they took the philosophy from Caesar, and then the new villain is using his philosophy to enslave and take on apes.
He said apes together strong, and he goes, "Oh, so I must enslave all apes." And
every ape has to come together. It's such a genius move. These movies are very underrated in my opinion. They never make as much money as they should in the box office.
Oh, absolutely.
These are movies you need to go see. I'm glad that we both saw them in theaters.
Yeah, the actors, Kevin Durand, which is Kevin Durant. I named a basketball player. And then the guy who plays Noah, who was, I think, a little less known, but still a great actor, Owen Teague. They just do phenomenal in their roles.
You do kind of want lesser known people because you're not seeing their face.
If you see any of the press releases and stuff, they
Kevin Durant really got into it. He was talking about like the muscle structure of the apes.
Yes, dude.
And like his voice had to go to a certain range.
And now I can't stop.
The girl who played Maeve, she was phenomenal.
Freya Allen?
Yes, Freya Allen. Great up-and-coming actress, I believe. I think she's going to go far in the industry.
I'm excited to see, because normally in the Planet of the Apes movies, we'll get like new cast of humans every time. I hope she comes back and she's like another kind of like her relationship with Noah kind of expands in the next one. I hope. But,
I hope so as well. I want Proximus to come back, and I want Rocca to come back.
See, the way that both of those apes died, I feel like they could totally come back. Like I know apes can't swim, and that's the whole thing, but like
apes can't swim?
Apparently not. Yeah, they're too heavy.
Can you explain this?
Anyway, but that's the whole idea. But like, surely he could find a raft, or like maybe Proximus. He got pecked, but he didn't get pecked to death. He just fell off. He could have.
I do love the journey that the taser has made across all 4 movies. Like, it stands the test of time. And it's such a good foil, too, because in the first movie, they're being oppressed by the taser stick, by Tom Felton's character. And by this point, they are the oppressors with the taser sticks,
And that's that's like the only technology they've got to, like, to use at this point.
It's just, I have nothing but good things to say about this movie.
Go watch this movie. Go buy it on DVD.
Yeah. So do you guys agree with our take that everyone kind of sucks here, but you know there are good and bad. But then there are protagonists and antagonists, like Hopper said. But when you get to the good and bad, it starts to get a little bit gray. And I hope that we've portrayed that in a way that makes sense to you guys.
Are you gonna watch the non-digital version when it comes out?
What is that?
They're gonna release a cut of this movie where it's just actors in like their suits.
You know, we could watch it and do like a review on it, or do it live or something.
How it changes or whatever.
Yeah. You guys leave it in the comments your thoughts on the movie. Do you want us to do that as well? We could do that for you, but
if you want to watch us review some other movies, that's on this side of the screen over here. If you want to get into our Ben 10 reviews, I know this is very different from Ben 10.
Yeah.
But we do every episode of Ben 10 over here on this side.
Yeah.
Subscribe in the middle, and we'll see y'all in the next video.
See ya.